Hello and welcome to this tutorial. We want to start by opening up the file snowman underscore multiple views.max in 3ds Max. When you open the file, you're going to see a snowman. It's not the best snowman, but it's a pretty cool snowman. We are looking at the snowman in the front view as if we were standing directly in front of it. But remember, 3D allows us to look at an object also 360 degrees. I want you to start by holding down the Alt key on your keyboard and press the letter W. You may have to click in the box first, but then hold down Alt W. Now, looking at our snowman in our top view, left view, and perspective view, you can see that we have a problem. Because we want the snowman to look this way from the front view, we want it to look the same way in the perspective view, because the perspective view basically shows us how the object looks to the human eye. In this tutorial, we will use the top view and the left view to line up our snowman in the perspective view. So just for a moment, take your mouse cursor and place it over here on the direction slider here, and just use it, hold down your left mouse button and rotate the snowman. As you can see, this is how we see it in 3D with the human eye. And as you can see, the eyes, the nose, the buttons, and the arms, and even the spheres that make up the snowman are not in alignment. So, using the top view and the left view, we're going to make things right. Let's start with the top view, because we need to get our the body, the three spheres, on top of each other, because as you can see in the front view, they look like they are, but they are not. And we're going to use the left view to accomplish this. Alright, so let's begin over here in the left view. So let's click once with the left mouse button, and then let's make the left view our only window. So let's hold down the Alt key and press W. Now let's click on the middle sphere and click the Select and Move tool. Now we get the direction arrows, and let's move that sphere on top of our bottom sphere. Because remember, we're looking at this as if we were standing to the left of the snowman and looking directly at it. Now let's click on the sphere that will represent the head of our snowman, and let's move it on top of this sphere. So we now have our spheres in place. Now let's do the same for the eyes. Or how about this? Let's do the nose, put the cone. Let's move it back and place it directly on the snowman. And you can have it go inside there so it just disappears. Now let's move the buttons let's move this button here, make it go in, and let's move this button here so that it goes in slightly, and let's move this button here. Now let's move the eyes, and remember we're looking at it from the left view, so let's go in a little bit there. That looks good. And let's move this one over, and notice how it goes behind the first eye that we moved, so we'll just line it up there. All right. So it looks like in the left view we now have everything properly aligned. So let's now hold down the Alt key and press the letter W, and it looks like it's coming together. However, we now have another problem, because when we moved the spheres that represent the body, it now sort of messed up our arms, didn't it? Okay, so now we're going to use the top view to make this work for us, because now notice how the top view has changed after we made changes in the left view. Alright, so let's now go to the top view. Let's click there, and let's click with the left mouse button, and now hold down the Alt key and press the letter W. So now we want to move the arms back a little bit, and we can do that. So let's go ahead and click on the arm on the right and move it back, let's say about halfway here. Because now remember, we're now looking at the snowman as if we were flying over top of it. And let's click the other arm, move it back, and sort of line it up together with the other. Now let's hold down the Alt key, press the letter W, and it looks like we have what we need here. Let's check. Let's move over to the perspective view, use our little direction cube, hold down the left mouse button on it, and rotate our snowman, and we have now fixed our snowman using the top and left views. So when you are working with three-dimensional objects or creating in 3D, you always have to keep in mind that the perspective view is where you want to see the proof of the project, and you use the top, front, and left views to properly align all the objects for your 3D model. I hope you've enjoyed this assignment. Thank you.